Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and welcome to the 1958 Porsche 356A Speedster. And not just any 356A Speedster, this is one of the last ones ever built. I think this is the third to last pushrod Speedster to roll off the assembly line, so that makes this a very special late version of the car. And if you're somebody who waits for the last model year of production to work out all the kinks, this one should be extra special. But actually, this one has undergone a proper restoration, and this might be one of the nicest Speedsters we've ever featured on the channel. I'm really excited to drive it, but once in a while you can tell just by feel and construction, like this, ready? That something has been done absolutely correctly. And that's not to belittle the beautiful 356s that are in here and have gone through our channel. But this car, I'm really excited about it. And it's properly original. So that car, for example, has a Super 90 engine in it with a hot cam. It's a little hot rod. This car, proper original things. I think it's got replacement carbs, but as far as I can tell, this is going to be a pretty authentic experience. So really excited about that. But I also figured while we're here, why not play Take Your Audience to Work Day? Because this is Bond Group. You've probably seen just about all of these cars driven on the channel. I love this Z8, but this Wilhoit 912 holds a very special place in my heart. This and the Slate Gray Sport Classic behind me over here, the Slate Gray Speedster and the Slate Gray 356B are all going to be up for sale on Bring a Trailer in the Group P10 auction. So they'll be collaborating with Road Scholars down in Durham, North Carolina, and we've got the Slate Gray collection. But today we're taking out this red Speedster, which is actually going to be sold separately, not part of that. I guess it just doesn't really fit in color-wise, but it's a beautiful day outside, so let's get it out there. But I do want to show you around a little bit. I mean, look, these cars, very simple vehicles. They are small. They often are referred to as the bathtub Porsche because they kind of have a bathtub vibe to them in their shape. But what I love about them is within their simplicity, they are really tactile, enjoyable cars to drive. This is a just wonderful driving experience for anyone who gets to do it. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday from Bren Tuning. Bren, okay. If you know Bren Tuning, Bren is somebody who will make massive horsepower out of tunes for people in all different varieties of cars. And he has always been a Porsche 911 turbo guy. So he's the kind of guy who will take a 997 turbo, make it into some 800 horsepower monster, and that's the deal. Recently, he has been buying some of his, sorry to blow up his spot, but I was talking to him last night at the museum. Recently, he's been buying some of his childhood dream cars. So he bought a gorgeous first generation Acura NSX. He bought a 1999 Honda Civic Si. And because he's known for his ridiculously high horsepower, incredible cars, even his GT3 RS on the track is a formidable beast. He has lately been driving the 99 Civic Si everywhere, and all his friends are confused. They're like, why are you driving this? He's like, you just don't understand until you experience this car. And I think Speedsters, in a different kind of way, hold a similar vibe, because you could look in this showroom and see a Bizzarini GT America. You could see a Wilhoit 912 with a bunch of horsepower. You could see this powerful 911 Sport Classic, very rare, manual, twin turbo. That thing is an absolute rocket ship. But I assure you, the 356 may be the car, after you get over all of the horsepower and grip, that you end up wanting to drive the most. So that's what we are going to do today, because this channel is all about driving experience, and we are certainly not discriminating based on stats. We just go by feel. So let's take a quick peek under the hood here. Get this little pull back here. And originality is the name of the game on these Speedsters. So for example, there's a number buried in there that you can see just a little bit in the right light. That's going to tell you that this is an original deck lid. Down here, we've got numbers to show the engine number, and then there's a couple more buried around there. We'll get to those later. Well, I will in the photography. We don't need to do that on the video. I believe the only modification on this engine is these carburetors. I think that they are Webers instead of what was originally on the car, probably Solex. I forget. I'm already forgetting. It's terrible. I drive these things all the time, and sometimes I do forget the little details. But the details that I do remember, that I love to look for, it's right here. this SWF number right here on this bezel, and then down here, even on this reflector, you'll see a number right here, this K number. On the shine down light, you'll see the Hella logo and then a number there, and you can just kind of follow these around the car. If you pull these door cards off, you'll get a number in the door card. You've also got the number right here. If we get under, let's see if I can find it, under the hood, this one's interesting because there's a number under the deck lid, and that's a very important one. This one is over there, and there's two numbers, but the one that shines through the most is that 0. So it's just like a little interesting. I've not seen that before. Something else that all the nerds love to see is the original number right here on the fuel sender on these tanks. So if you're a 356 purist, those are the things you're looking for. You're also going to pull out this tire, this wheel, and look inside there. That's got the original 1958 date stamp on the inside. And there's differences, right? So you can see, obviously this car, this gorgeous Speedster, Steve's car, it's been modified a little bit. So this one has these great like rally lights on them, but got the proper Bosch things here. Everything is properly done, even though this mirror, very rare, not original to the car, but it is an original mirror. A different steering wheel, but one of the cool things about this is it's got the dual stock column, so it adds a little more functionality. That one has the original single stock. You can start to piece together the little details of these cars and the differences. This one has the beehive taillights, but it has the proper logos on them. Same with the Hella shine down light, and even these little reflectors, and you can see the number in there. So if you just get nitty gritty into the 356 world, you'll find cars that are built a little like Legos because they take pieces from other cars. However, if the core pieces of the car are original, it just makes it that much sweeter when you're a buyer looking for originality. I mean, these Rudge wheels, not original to the car, but absolutely perfect on it. It looks fantastic, and they're period correct. So you can play that game with your 356s, but you do kind of have to play it right because you don't want to get a lot of fakey-do stuff. You want stuff to be relatively original. For example, this engine, original to the car, that engine is a Super 90 engine. However, let me show you something. Deep in the bowels of Bond Group, there is the original engine to the Speedster in the back. So while you may not, actually now I can show you those numbers. So there's that 716 number here, you've got this number here, and on the other side, on each half of this, you'll have a 716 and a 716. So you'll be able to authenticate these types of engines. And then these are the original wheels from that car. So with the wheels off, you can actually see 756 on all four. And there's the original tank from that car, the original steering wheel from that car, a period correct roof for that car, a hardtop. I mean, if you can think about how hard it is to find a Miata hardtop, think about how hard it is to find a Speedster hardtop. So sure, you've experienced 356s from this channel over the years, from Rod Emery specials to Will Hoyt hot rods to completely original 1956 unrestored, unmolested cars to something like this where it's been properly restored a while back and it retains all of its originality despite being much nicer and tighter and cleaner and essentially showroom quality. But what's fun is just learning the history and what people look for in these cars, because when I go to a car show and you see a car show judge nitpick, what is that? What is that? Oh my goodness. See, I don't have enough American car knowledge because I'm a 356 nerd, but when you can see people nitpick all the little things and test out what's original, what's not, and suss out who's the real one and who's the fake one. And when you're on the chopping block for really expensive cars, if you've got for example, a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, or you've got a 550 Spider with a number, but then you know that there's another guy with the same chassis number, which is the real one. And then those are more popular brands. If you go into the Bizzarini world, holy cow, The accounting they did on these cars was not that good. To really understand which car came when and was this actually the correct number for this car, it really does take quite a lot of sleuthing and research, and also a collaboration of enthusiasts to agree upon what is the truth. Whereas with these cars, it's a little easier to do that, but you just have to know where to look. So let's get this thing outside, take it for a drive, and enjoy this beautiful spring day. To start our 58 Speedster, we've got a good neutral. Our key here, we're going to give a couple pumps of throttle. Very impressive. This started right up. Now this is a hand throttle. So what you can do is you can let it idle a little bit like that. There's teeth in it, if you can see. And then you can start relaxing this. And I love it when these work. Now it's not a choke, so you're not worried about washing cylinders or anything. Let's see, we've got the Lift Master. Oh, what a dream. Get our seatbelt on. We've got a lap belt down here. Man, what a treat when this works. Even in the nicest 356s, a lot of times that hand throttle has been disconnected. And I think it's just such a helpful tool, because then I don't have to try to play this game of like feathering the throttle and hoping it'll idle. And you can just let the car warm up properly. Well, the other thing about it too is when I start these cars, there's no oil really running through them yet. So my typical startup procedure is like, get it running, but don't really blip the throttle. Try to hold the revs for a second, somewhere at like 2,000 RPM, just to get things flowing, and then slowly bring that back down so we'll get a good idle out of it. A little brake test. Always good to do in your classic cars. Bomb group is on a hill, so if your brakes fail, you've got to get creative about how not to go into the road. So the tricky thing about 356s is you've got to warm them up, but they really are happy in this mid-range power band, but you also don't want to aggressively drive the car before it's warmed up. So I try to just keep the revs like relatively low, but add just a touch of throttle. And this, ahead of me, one of my least favorite taillight designs in the game. Like, what garbage. You have these beautiful taillights. Someone designed incredible taillights, and then they ended up deciding to use the brake lights and essentially what's the reflectors, and that's even the blinkers. Like, look at this. That's terrible. Meanwhile, I'm in my 356 and I have good taillights. Bentley University. They've got a great car club here. They do fantastic car shows in the spring and fall. So once in a while, you see an enthusiast who likes the cars driving by. I've just gotten to my film location, which is usually my start location, and there's a joke that Topher Brower and Chris Amos and I all have, is that the second you start rolling cameras, that's when the lawn crews start. And I have like a very special level of lawn crew because it's not the typical lawn crew. It's a front end loader loading up an entire semi-truck full of mulch. And I just think that is just so emblematic of like a springtime drive in a classic car. Now, I'm not mad. Do not take this as complaining. I could sit here and watch this all day. But I do need to go find a spot where I don't have the sweet sounds of reverse warning beeps and a Caterpillar, or is it a Caterpillar or a Doosan? I don't even know. I didn't look. Diesel engine rolling next to me. So let's go find another spot in order to get some of my job done. The only thing I love about this spot is just because of these beautiful trees. They complement the car so well. So what we'll do is we'll hope that this office park has remained essentially unfilled since COVID. Honestly, work from home has benefited me and any automotive photographer immensely because it gives us the opportunity to utilize these parking lots. Yes, environmentally, massive waste of space. Actually, even just from a housing standpoint, all this space could be reasonable condos. But no, for me, church parking lots and office parks, that's what we love. Anywhere where we can have open space to freely work and photograph cars without people yelling at us to get off their property. And see, this is not great. People have come into the lot that I like to use, and then they've kind of started using space that gets into my photos. But I'm not complaining about these people. Of course, I would be this guy. If I worked in that building and there's a lot down there that's crowded with people, of course I'm going to be the guy that parks my car away from everybody in the isolated lot. The only thing is it bones me. Okay, let's see. Lots of goose poop. There's our culprits. But, man, there's a lot of goose poop. It's so gross. So gross. All right. Do our little walk-around video here. This oil temp, man, come on. Give me a little nudge. We've been driving for a little while now. Let's see. A little straighter. Oh, killer horn. I love when they put really bold, gnarly horns on these little cars because then it means business. What's also funky is if you'll notice I just keep getting carried away with stuff. You'll notice that the steering wheel doesn't like line up with this dashboard. Everything's always like a little offset and bizarro on these cars, but it's just perfect. All right, let's do our little bring a trailer walk around and then we'll get back to the driving video. All right, reasonable location, did the bring a trailer walk around, showed everybody all the sights and sounds. Actually, I feel like sometimes I discover new things on these cars when I'm out here. This thing looks so good. Look, these original directionals, all the signals. God, everything looks so good on this car. I love watching the little belt flex when you give it some revs. See if you can see that. Just that tiny bit shows that it's properly tensioned, everything's good. All right, let's close it up, put the plate back on it, and take it for a ride. Oh, also, I don't know why, I forgot to mention the fun exhaust that comes through the chrome bumpers. It just adds a little extra to the car. I think it's kind of fun. I mean, look, like chrome bumpers aren't my favorite on 356s, but I think these look really good. It's a little windier than I hoped it would be. And right on schedule, there's the semi-truck with that load of stuff, all the mulch. Beautifying the office park. Getting the judgmental glances from the passers-by. First they see the car, then they see the camera on my face, then they see the earmuffs, and they're like, what stupid nerd am I witnessing right now? Getting a little wiggle out of this oil temp gauge. I almost never trust them, but you know what? We'll just be nice to it for a couple more minutes. But like, we have been driving for quite a while. Now these are pretty old tires, so we're not gonna push those to the limits today. I'm still watching this oil temp gauge. I feel like sometimes I don't trust these. We've been driving for a while. Like, this car is warmed up. Shifts are buttery smooth. Honestly, this might be one of the best 356 Speedsters I've ever driven. This is fantastic. You'll notice this tachometer doesn't have the little sweepy guy that the Speedo has over here. Sometimes I think it must just be a year thing. Older cars must have that, or this is a replacement tach. I'm not certain. But it's those little nuances that I even find on cars where I'm like, wait, why does this one have that or that one has this? And with a brand like Porsche, there's usually a method to the madness or a reason. With brands like Bizzarini or ISO, I mean, it could literally have just been because of what was available that day. These clouds are a little ominous. I do have a roof in the event, but I don't want to use it. check the weather real quick, because this could turn on us, and it really depends on where I'm going right now. Take a quick peek. Let's see. Okay, well, looks like no rain, but you never know. I feel like on like the Will Hoyt Speedsters and the Emery Special, the point is the power, it's the performance. And this has plenty of performance, it's still fine, but like we're talking about maybe a 70 horsepower engine. And I just don't feel compelled to like thrash it. It doesn't seem to need it. It's a happy car. I mean, man, this is tight as a drum, and it doesn't feel synthetic. I've driven cars that have been like over restored, and they start to lose a little bit of the thing that made them special when they're over restored. This car, it definitely feels like it probably drives nicer than it ever did. We'll get the revs up a little higher. It probably drives nicer than it ever did, but it does feel like it's just an excellent example of what this is supposed to be. Make sure you turn. I know you can't go anywhere else, but just in case. I mean, look at that. There's no rattles. Nothing makes any sounds going over bumps. I gotta go faster. I'm being so nice to it right now just because I'm trying to get this oil temp gauge to do the thing so you don't complain. And maybe don't cross the yellow line like in your CRV. I don't want to be a Karen, but I don't want to get hit in a small overlap crash test in a 1958 Speedster. Like, I'm telling you, it's not going to go well for me. A little bit of a high-pitched like squeak that you probably heard on load. I think it might just be, maybe I cursed it when I said I like the belt tension when I revved it. Maybe it is like a tiny bit loose or something. Otherwise, there's something just resonating when I do that. of course, we've pulled out with the police behind us. Be ultra respectful driving through here. Not that we'd be going very fast anyway, but this is a relatively low speed zone, and we'll treat it as such. Sounds so good. All right, I think we're gonna kill it here. The video, not the car. Oh, look at this S-Class. Holy cow. W140. Looking fantastic. All right, well, that is another Speedster drive in the can, and my first red one. So maybe that's the ticket. I mean, look, every Speedster's a little different. They all behave a little differently. They all sort of have a different vibe. They have all been restored a little differently. This particular car, I think, is really nice because it feels like it has not been over-restored, but properly restored. And it retains all the excitement and tactility and feel of what an original car is supposed to be without making it too nice. And that's the thing, I mean that in the nicest possible way. Like, this is a great car, but it's not too nice. When they go too crazy, sometimes they just lose a little bit of that excitement. I guess I'm just gonna continue driving with you guys while I end this video. But anyway, yeah, thanks to Bond Group for for tossing me the keys to this thing. Rutan, baby. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Something about a Volkswagen Rutan, I can't not car spot it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate everything from badge engineered minivans to proper German historical timepieces that tell us and inform us of what automotive excitement was, is, and can still be. So anyway, don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. See, that little oil temp thing wiggled up a little bit, but yeah, we're in the clear. Don't complain about it. I don't want to hear it. Cars got warmed up. Anyway, hit the like button. It actually helps. I hate asking, but hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, wait a second. Proper red 356, red 911. He went beyond. He's having like a little bit of a reverse of shame right now. But you know what? At least he corrected his mistake. So we got to give him that. This is a 58. There was no 911 when this car came out.